about it. Listen, Errol Spence is one of the top 3 hottest fighters, higher up in that top 3, depending on who you ask and talk to. I said my suspicions and my reason, being in the game so long, not surprised by any shenanigans that might happen, alleged, true, or in between. Maybe, maybe not. But I questioned the week before. Show me a sparring tape. Show me something that created this episode, this particular conversation that we had. Because I'm getting asked questions from fighters from different parts of the East Coast, traveled the West Coast recently before I got here. And the first thing people ask me, what do you think happened week before and blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, do it falls on a smell test, but I don't want to be the first one, which I believe I was, to speak candidly about it, straight up, because I would like to give fans who I think is very intelligent, but also there's some potential hoodwinks or already got a hoodwink, slow learners out there. So I'm educating them in the same token, letting them know that everything don't have to be what's fed to you, what it is. Something to think about. And if something come out of that conversation where now you're getting information more than whatever Band-Aid or bandage, whatever showed, whatever, then you make your decisions and then you follow it from there. But I'm a person about, we got to go further if it means that much to anybody in any situation. If you tell me something, now you got to show me. I think the fans in the world deserve, not because of missing basically almost 90% of boxing last year, correct?
Yeah, a lot.
And now
during the pandemic,
you got your. Can you imagine? I heard this happen to you allegedly. The date didn't show up because you was ready and you was all dressed up. I heard had a nice haircut, smiling, and next thing you know, you got stood up. This is a stood up in boxing.
Those are the words of Bernard, the executioner, Hopkins, okay? And again, he reiterates, not try to clean up. That's what I like about Bernard. He ain't like, oh, he's catching the heat, now he's trying to make it, clean it up, damage control. No, he's pretty much saying what he said the last time. Yo, I think I'm suspicious. I don't know, but I'm suspicious of something happening this fast. You know, this fast in the game, based on what he knew, what he knows in the game. Takes one to know one. You got to show me something. You got to show me proof that, hey, this actually went down like this. When did he get hurt? Did something happen when he got hit? And then it was like a pivotal moment. Then he got hurt, because that's the only thing that's going to really describe the tear. Like something that, like that sparring partner that was supposed to be getting to Errol Spence, that like he hit him with something that made him kind of, oh, are you all right? You good? You know what I mean? That made him like, hey, let me really check this eye out. And then the way they were talking, hey, we glad we caught that tear. You know, and then, but really, if you think about it, if everything is true, which I don't question it now. I mean, Errol Spence, you know, I never seen him back out a fight before. You know what I mean? But you can't overlook the possibility. Let me give you an example. People wanted proof that Tyson Fury had COVID. Why? Because he didn't act like a person that had COVID. Him nor his team. So, I mean, I have no problem with that. Okay? But you have to use the same energy. Okay? And those same people that wanted proof of Tyson Fury needing COVID or testing positive or whatever, right? Based on his actions. Okay? The same thing applies for Errol Spence. Why? Because Errol Spence got out of the game. And I'm not calling Errol Spence a liar. Okay? I'm not saying that. It's just the suspicion and knowing what we know about PBC and their history with Fox, the likelihood of them possibly going somewhere else, they need results. They need big fights. If they thought they were going to get Canelo Alvarez. What are the chances of them getting Canelo Alvarez and then the Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao fight happening without the tear or without that? What are the chances of this not even coming into play or not even being a story or not even a reality at that point if they got Canelo Alvarez? Okay, you have to look at it like that. Like, okay, we need one or the other. Okay, we need Manny Pacquiao, Spence, but then again, whoa, we thought we were going to get a Manny Pacquiao Spence fight, which Spence is favored to beat Manny Pacquiao. And we thought we were going to get a Canelo Caleb Plant fight. So those are two fights, okay? So you have those fights in the mix. You have those fights that will possibly go down, but now you tell me, oh, that Caleb Canelo fight's not happening. Oh, snap. So we have to stretch a fight. Go figure. And speaking of Canelo Alvarez, okay, you guys have to understand, Manny Pacquiao is still getting the same amount of money that he was getting for to fight Errol Spence as he's getting to fight Ugas, right? And at the same time, you could guarantee Manny Pacquiao, but you couldn't guarantee Canelo Alvarez, which that brings me to another suspicion, because you have Canelo Alvarez wanting the same amount of money if his fighter decides to pull out. That shows you don't have any confidence in your fighter, and that shows that maybe you're cheap and you don't want to pay Canelo what he's worth or what he was asking for. And again, why wouldn't you have any problem paying that particular person to be on your platform if the other fighter pulls out and it's no fault of his own? Counterpunch. Think about what I'm saying. So if they had any intention of doing this, they knew they would withdraw from that decision. Okay, they would withdraw that amount of money. They wouldn't want to have Canelo Alvarez fight for that, because maybe that's in their intention in the first place. Let's take Caleb Plant out and put someone else in. So therefore, if Canelo still wants this belt and still wants to be undisputed, his ass is still going to fight on our platform. Okay. And on top of that, PBC, what they do, they rely more on us, the consumer, the people that buy this shit, to line the boxers' pockets. They don't want to guarantee shit. That's why I think they're cheap. They're not like the Zone that gives a flat rate to the fighters and they know what they're going to get, because they put their lives on the line, their lives on the line for our entertainment. Okay. But at the end of the day, what PBC does, they will give you some type of little bullshit guarantee if a certain numbered dollar figure is made. Okay. Now, get this. Via Mike Hoppinger says that Charles Conwell tells ESPN that he faked a hand injury to withdraw from an April 8th NBCSN main event versus Ivan Gulub on the advice of his manager, David McWater. The reason was he was due to make $80,000, double the purse, on Triller versus Mark DeLuca. McWater denies it. Okay, well, of course, David McWater would deny it, because that's some shady stuff. And see, based off what people reach for, like Tyson Fury for, they don't want to use that same energy for Errol Spence. Sure, they're fans of Errol Spence. Sure, Errol Spence is probably black. That's probably why they don't want to. And it's bad to say that, but they're trying to do more to defend Errol Spence, but then try to crucify Tyson Fury. Right? Same way they say, oh, well, hey, well, Deontay Wilder, we need proof that he had dents in his head and all types of shit. Where's the doctor reports? What is the deal with the wording autopsy? That type of shit. As a matter of fact, clean that shit up. Clear that up, first of all. But, that's what I'm talking about. It's a double standard, because at this point, Bernard Hopkins is saying, hey, I want to see proof. But what I'm saying is, I want to see proof from everyone. Not just Errol Spence, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, that Tyson Fury cheated him, and everybody else that claimed, even David Benavidez, Teofimo Lopez. Nobody's exempt from getting proof, because it's like this. If you catch COVID and people are dying of COVID and you're using that shit for an excuse, shame on you, all of you. especially if you motherfuckers don't really have it. If you're trying to pull some shit that that Mr. Conwell said that he did on the advice of his manager, Mr. McWater, shame on you motherfuckers. McWater ain't gonna say, he ain't gonna tell you the truth. But do you think this guy's lying? And why would he lie? It makes sense why he would pull out of that fight. What I'm saying is, it's possible. Okay, it's possible that Tyson Fury could cheat because he's cheated before. Cool. Well, that means it's possible also that, guess what? A fighter could fake an injury and another fighter can do the same thing on a higher scale, right? If we're going to go and we're going to reach like that, since we're all reaching, let's all do it. But what I'm saying, ultimately, let's get proof from everybody. Okay, let's draw that shit across the board so that way we won't have the bullshit. Sure, you want Errol Spence's proof? Okay, all right, get Tyson Fury's proof too. Why not? In that case, get Teofimo Lopez's proof. Because all of a sudden, he's supposed to be off of COVID, now he don't want to travel. Interesting, strange, too damn strange. That now you got the biggest purse, your purse bid it out, Triller won it, but then you don't want to go to Australia. That's weird. Okay, so you have all these guys and you put all this together. You got Canelo falling out of the Caleb plant, but then yet Manny Pacquiao has a replacement. How long did he knew he had the retina? You know what I mean? You go to Vegas right now, you see Ugas and Pacquiao all over the place. It's almost like this was, boom. It's just too convenient, right? Just like it was too convenient for Tyson Fury to be walking around claiming that he has COVID. And then people are trying to say, no, he doesn't. You have to look at these people the same way, and you have to look at boxing for what it is. And Bernard Hopkins, if he knows anything, he knows boxing. Okay? And we all know boxing is a crooked fucking sport. It's the sport that I love, that I hate so much. That's another reason. That's my phrase. Because that's exactly what it is. It's one of those sports that is janky as shit. It refuses to get legit. Bars. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So if Bernard Hopkins has his doubts, I respect him for not going back. Not being chicken shit and saying, oh, I shouldn't have said that. No. Be a man of your word, and Bernard Hopkins is a man of his word. He could be wrong. But at the end of the day, he's sticking by his guns, and he thinks it's still fishy. He thinks it's still fishy yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Bernard Hopkins still wanting proof of Errol the Truth Spence's injury. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunching. Peace.